Hello friends, it's Dave here from SaveDex and I have beaten another game in my quest this year to break my backlog. If you want to keep up with me on this journey, then make sure you hit that subscribe button to join the party and also consider joining the Discord and make some suggestions of games I should get through next. My fifth game in this series is the third game in the Shantae series, which is Shantae and the Pirate's Curse, an action platformer with Metroidvania elements which first released in 2014 on 3DS before coming to other consoles as time went on. I personally bought this game when it went on sale on the Wii U, having heard good things about the franchise, but sadly it just sat among my other eShop games that I bought well cheap and never got round to playing properly. I did dabble a bit but didn't get too far. It wasn't until Half Genie Hero that I really got into the franchise, so having played and loved 3 other Shantae games last year, I decided to give this one a second chance on the Switch, and yeah, it's just another fantastic Shantae game. There'll be some spoilers for Risky's Revenge here, as the ending of that game leads into this one, and I will mention some later things in Pirate's Curse 2, but not in any great detail. So there's your spoiler warning. At the end of Risky's Revenge, Shantae loses her genie powers and is now a human. The game begins with Ammo Baron taking over Scuttletown and Shantae is given court summons, and she looks unusually happy about receiving them. But then Risky turns up saying her henchmen and items have gone missing. Her henchmen, the Tinkerbats, have been taken over by dark magic and become Cacklebats. So, it is up to Shantae and Risky to team up and take down the evil pirate master behind all of this dastardliness. Is that a word? It is now. Anyway, this game is probably the most unique of all the games I've played in the Shantae series because Shantae is human in this one, which means you don't get any animal transformations. You still use your hair as an attack and the items you'd expect from the shop, such as the bubble shield and pike balls, but the main abilities you gain are Risky's pirate gear. There's a hat that lets you glide, a pistol, a sword which has 2 uses, and a cannon for extra jumps. You explore the islands one by one. Each one is themed differently and are unique and stand out from each other. Spiderweb Island has a spooky theme, Tanline Island is your desert level, and so on. There are 7 islands in total, although one of them you are only on very briefly for a cutscene. One of them is Scuttletown itself, and the remaining 5 all have a den. These dens are basically your labyrinths. Each one you need to explore, finding keys and solving puzzles to navigate your way through, each one resulting in you finding a new ability before fighting the boss. Defeating the boss will get you the map to the next island. There is some backtracking to do for story purposes as well as finding collectibles. When it comes to story progression, I did wish the game gave a bit more direction, as sometimes I would forget what a certain character I needed to talk to looked like, or where they were located. Just a simple reminder would have been nice. Each island has a set number of heart squids and cacklebats to find, some of which aren't accessible without the right ability. Bringing 4 heart squids to Scuttletown will net you an extra heart. For the most part, the world is fantastically designed, with the levels being a joy to explore, and the backtracking with your new moves is a lot of fun when things just click when you realise how to get somewhere new. But there are a few areas where enemies will just appear out of nowhere and it becomes easy to die. Overall, this isn't the hardest game, but a few deaths did occur, most of which seemed fair, but there were a few design choices that threw me off guard. When you die, you revert back to your last save, which is in these screens containing the bearded man in green, which is a staple to the franchise. But when you respawn there, you will have full health. So if you make a save with very little health, it is a handy trick to just die on purpose to instantly fill up your health with no progress lost. When fighting enemies, it is strange that a number always appears above them, showing how much damage you've done to them, but you never see how much health they have, so the number doesn't really mean anything to me. You can upgrade your attack and hair whip speed as usual, which makes a slightly higher number appear as well and kills the enemies a bit quicker. The bosses are very well designed. You get your obligatory Squid Baron battle here, and they make a big thing of him being a filler boss. Seriously, the writing in this game is fantastic, as it always is in this series. but I found out a bit later in the game that just using the super monster milk ups your attack so high that you can just brute force the bosses and they just die before you do. The controls in this game are fantastic. Each new move is assigned to a button and it all feels natural. Pressing ZR in the air to open your hat like a parachute especially feels good to pull off. The charge move is done by pressing Y when Shantae glows. She does this after running a certain distance uninterrupted, and there are a few instances where it is required, but the space you have is only just enough, which can make it a bit troublesome. The X button is to use the lamp to suck up the dark magic taken from cacklebats you find. There are 20 in total hidden around the world. You are not required to find them all to finish the game, but you will need to get them all if you want the proper ending, and there are a couple of them that are in some really obscure places. Finding them and battling them just reminds me of Metroid Samus Returns a bit. There are a few instances where the lamp is used for other means, but they're few and far between. Graphically, the game looks very nice. It has a pixel art style. The last time Shantae adopted this before Half Genie Hero went to new heights. The levels are varied and all stand out from each other, as well as having fantastic animations from the other characters and enemies you fight. Cutscenes are handled with still images popping up with the text, and their personalities really do shine here. The music has an Arabian feel to it, and it's the typical stuff you'd expect from this series. All good here. Overall, I found Shantae and the Pirate's Curse to be a fantastic adventure. If I was to rank the series, I'd put this one in second place, below Half Genie Hero and just above Seven Sirens. The lack of transformations makes this one stand out, and I admire them following through with how Risky's revenge ended with her no longer having powers. But the new abilities here worked so well, and the game was an absolute joy to control. The characters are extremely likeable, there's a lot of good humour, and I had a lot of fun exploring this world. Incidentally, if you want to see my experience with this game, my 4-part stream is available to view. Just click the links in the description below if you wish to see them. I only managed to get the bad ending here though. I did eventually get the good ending off stream. My overall playtime to get the real ending was just over 8.5 hours, which I feel was a really good time for this sort of game. And you then unlock Pirate Mode, where you get to play through it all again with all of the abilities unlocked from the start. I do like it when games give you this option. So that's what I thought of Shantae and the Pirate's Curse. What did you think of this game? Ever given it a try? I seriously just love this series and can't wait to see more. Hopefully the original will get ported to the Switch soon enough, but make sure you click that subscribe button to see what other Backlog games I clear in the future. Thank you so much for watching everyone, see you in the next one. But just one thing to say first, Shantae for Smash!